All right, welcome back to Tough Men of Faith. Nick,
What's up, RT? How you doing?
doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good.
Good. I'm ready to jump into it today.
Are you?
Yep.
Good. We got a guest with us again.
We do. I'm really excited. We have the mayor of Beech Grove, Indiana,
You've
with
been
us
working
today.
on this for a minute.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So, welcome, Mayor Buckley.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Yeah. So, usually on this show, a couple things we like to hear guys' story. So, how they get from when they're a little kid to where they're at now in life, and then talk about some leaderships and different things. I will say one of the reasons I'm really excited to have you on here is there's a couple reasons, but when I just moved to Beech Grove.
He hasn't paid his taxes. And
Haven't
he
paid
needs
my taxes.
He needs an
That's
out.
it.
Well, he's not alone.
Yeah. So you'll pick up on this is Nick is really good for comedic relief. Like he has the one-liners.
That's why I don't get paid.
Where was I going? Oh, so I moved to the city of Beech Grove a couple years ago. I've always lived all around Beech Grove, and on a Saturday morning I was driving over here to church, and I saw someone out early in the morning picking up trash on the road.
Mhm.
And I knew a guy that worked for the city, so I asked him, I was like, man, you guys have people out working Saturday morning picking up trash? Kind of laughed, and he goes, that's the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt really convicted because I was coming over to where I work at the church here, and there was trash all around the outside. And I've been on people like, can't we get anyone to pick up the trash? Then I thought, if the mayor of Beech Grove can pick up trash in his city, I can go out in the parking lot and pick up some trash. So you brought a lot of conviction to me that day and didn't even know it. So
I've been doing it for a long time. It's not a story.
Yeah.
I don't want any recognition. I just can't stand trash.
Mhm.
And, I just go pick it up. It irritates my wife sometimes because we'll be on vacation and I'll pick up trash. It's just something that I do. I've done for a long time. I don't
Yeah.
pay any attention to it. And, I exercise daily, and I go pick an area out of the city that I just go pick up trash.
yeah,
Yeah, but one of the main things we talk about on here, it seems like a lot of times, is servant leadership. And if you're the mayor of your town, your city, and you're out being a servant of the city as well, look what that shows about your character.
I just, all of the employees that work for the city, I wouldn't ask them to do anything that I wouldn't do. And we have a good workforce, and they work hard every day, and I appreciate what they do. So,
Yeah.
and plus, we can't do a whole lot as a city, but we can be clean.
yeah,
So I'm happy about it.
yeah, yeah. It definitely shows. So do you mind just kind of telling us, like, how did you get in your life? Like, what did the path look like to you became mayor of Beech Grove? And
I really had a regular, boring life.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Beech Grove. I went to school in Beech Grove. Took some college courses. Got on the fire department when I was 24.
okay,
And then I served 30 years on the fire department, and then I retired. I retired in August of '09, and then I decided to run for mayor in 2010. And I was complaining about the city,
Mhm.
and I had two choices. I could stay at home and complain, or try and do something.
yeah,
So I filed to run for mayor. It was just my wife and I. The party that I signed up for, they didn't want me. So we were out there all alone. So we just hustled, and I got elected in 2011. And I started in 2012, and I retire at the end of this year.
okay,
So my wife is born and raised in Beech Grove, and our two children were born and raised in Beech Grove. So kind of a boring life, but very rewarding.
yeah, yeah. You mentioned some about your employees, and I've noticed, like, when I interact with them, they just seem motivated, just motivated to work in the city. So I know it's a reflection. You've been mayor for a while. How do you keep your team motivated? Because it's a larger organization, right? I mean,
I was I was fire chief. The last 12 years I served on the fire department, I was chief, and I always put the firefighters first, and it was the same philosophy. Um, I wouldn't do anything I wouldn't ask them to do anything that I wouldn't do, and we were ethical, and we outreach to a lot of people, and it's all right to tell the employees how well they're doing every once in a while.
Yeah.
And
Good to boost morale.
yeah, so as mayor, that continued. I don't have all the answers, so I seek help, and I don't run any of the departments. Um, the department head runs the department, and I assist them in helping what they need to run their department. It's the same philosophy. I constantly tell the employees how well they're doing and how much they're appreciated. And it's taken us a little while, but a lot of our employees, like our employees at DPW, their pay is up where everybody is in the county. Our EMS workers, they are the highest paid paramedics and EMTs in central Indiana. And our police department, we have 39 police officers,
Okay.
and we are the highest paid police officers in Marion County.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's important
Yeah.
for a number of reasons. Recruiting, retaining employees, and just to show that, hey, you know what, you matter to us.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
I heard of John Maxwell. It wasn't his quote. I know we all know his quotes, probably see him a lot, but there's this article I was reading talked about that when he walks into a room, he tries to say something encouraging to everyone there within the first 30 seconds. Or if he has a conversation with you, with someone on his team, within the first 30 seconds, he's trying to tell them something they've done right or something. And he tries to do that in front of other people as well.
Yeah.
I've just never really thought of that. Like,
Don't just let me build you up in private. Let me build you up where other people can see it as well.
yeah.
Like a classic example, and I've been doing it for a long time, and I'll do it for one more time. Next Monday, our entire DPW, I take them to breakfast just to show how much I appreciate what they've done. So we go to breakfast next Monday, and I've been doing that for years. I just don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
But no, and being the mayor, you can go two ways when you're the mayor. If you want to be mayor because you want the power and the authority, you're going to fail. But if you are going to be the mayor and you are going to help people and be a servant, then it's a very rewarding career.
Yeah.
And I chose the last.
Yeah.
The mayor, and I tell people all the time, the mayor is a title. I'm not any better than anybody else.
Are there one or two things that you're most proud of over the last, how many years have you been mayor?
12.
12?
Yeah, the only reason I ran for mayor was, in my opinion, the city was in the tank. And I don't know anything else. So I told my wife I was going to run for mayor, and she thought, "Are you nuts?"
So you had no political background behind it. Okay. It's okay.
I would have never ran for mayor if the city was doing well.
Yeah.
But the city wasn't, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to run for mayor and I'm going to make change.
Yeah.
And I did. So one of the things I'm most proud of is that the city was doing very poorly in 2012. Now it's doing very well. So I'm happy about that, and I'm happy about the progress that we have made in just stated employees, salaries, infrastructure work that's been done. I'm happy about the trail systems that are through Beech Grove now. It's just a nice community. And before we started, We talked about getting on the trails down there. We have 2 trails right now. We're getting ready to build a 3rd trail that winds through our high school campus. But these trails change the whole city. And people want to get out and walk. And this is something that you can do, and it doesn't cost you anything. We're not like Carmel or Fishers or up on the north side. We can't afford all of these high-priced tickets, but you know, a lot of things that we offer are free.
Yeah.
And you know, the parks are clean. They're relatively safe. We have crime. We're no different than anybody else. But you know, it's relatively safe, and you can walk. So it's a nice place to live.
It is. What I appreciate about the trails is I've met a ton of my neighbors and other people that live in Beech Grove that I would have never met if there wasn't a trail. If I'm walking down Troy, you know, to get my exercise in, we're not stopping to talk, but on the trail, it's just that different atmosphere.
We're getting ready to build another trail, and it starts where the license branch is on Emerson, goes through the woods and comes out behind the elementary school, and then it winds through the high school campus and comes out on Churchman Avenue. And what's going to happen is that's going to get done. It's 1.1 miles. It's called the Hornet Greenway. And you're exactly right. What's going to happen is there are going to be people that walk that trail and they see the high school campus and they're not going to believe what they see. They've never seen anything like this. You've never been back there to look at it.
Yeah.
So now they see it, and it's a wonderful thing. So I'm looking. I won't be the mayor, but I'll be walking it.
Yep.
You know.
How
So-
is it tough stepping away?
Yeah, I'll miss it.
Yeah.
I'll miss it because I enjoy helping people. And when you assume the position of mayor, you get the opportunity to help people, and I help as many people as I possibly can. Sometimes you can't,
Yeah.
but I do, and you get in that position. And it's very rewarding.
I have a feeling after hearing you talk that that's not going to change much.
No,
You'll still be out picking up trash.
I'll
You'll
still
still
be
be out
out.
serving the community.
yeah.
And maybe your title's going to change, but I have a feeling that being out and helping people and meeting people isn't going to change much.
No, I'll probably continue.
Yeah.
So
How do you? So I've never been in politics at all, but I see politicians take a beating, this with criticism and things. And I'm a pastor, and I take a little bit of that, but I don't have that many people in my church, so it's limited on how many.
Mostly friends.
Mostly friends that give me a hard time. How do you handle criticism?
I don't. I'm hardened to it.
Okay.
I've got thick skin. I learned that early on.
Yeah.
And I just stay focused on what I want to do, and every decision that I make, somebody's not going to like, and some people take it to the extreme. But you know, I've had people for 12 years say some terrible things about me,
Yeah.
and turn around and ask. They'll call me and ask me to help them, and I will.
Yeah.
Because you know that's just how it is, and you know my assistant who just retired, you know she would say, how can you help these people
Yeah.
the way they have talked about you? Well, you know,
Kill them with kindness.
yeah, I just move on. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, we're just in a really divided time right now as our country, so it's I
Yeah.
don't see a lot of that.
I one of the things that I did, and you know you got to draw a line in the sand, and I brought religion back into the mayor's office. So I felt impelled to do that. Something was driving me to do it.
Yeah.
Because we have not just Beech Grove, but folks, we have serious problems, and it's not going to go away until you allow Jesus to come back into your life. And when you do, it's amazing how these things disappear.
Yeah.
So my philosophy over 12 years is that, you know, I opened the mayor's office door to Jesus, and some people thought that would be taboo, but it wasn't. You know, I opened the door and let him in, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was something I was going to ask you about. Is it just seems so rare because I think the first time I met you is that you have like a pastors roundtable or something, and it's just a group of pastors in the community. You said, "Hey, I want you to come in. And we're going to talk about what's going on in our community," and you were there every
Yeah.
month.
We met today at
Yeah.
noon.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have an ongoing commitment, so I can't make it. It's the one day, but also it's not. I've been in a lot of meetings where people just talk, and nothing ever comes of it. But you guys are tackling some things with drug overdose and different things, like really going at it from a spiritual side. So.
So, I go to church regularly, and I go to church during the week. I'm a sinner. I'm no different than anybody else. But, I got a funny story to tell you. One of my harshest critics, since from day one that I was mayor, she would say anything outrageous. And believe it or not, the council voted to have prayer to start the meeting. So somebody from the mayor's faith-based roundtable would come in and say a prayer, and it was very well received. We still do it. We've been doing it for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. Well, this lady said, "I'll never come to another council meeting since you started praying." And I thought to myself, I should have done it a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. But no, it's worked out well. And it's all right. And I tell other elected officials, especially mayors, it's not taboo to bring Jesus back into your office. It's a good thing, and I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
Don't know what the next mayor's going to do. I suspect he will do the same thing that I'm doing. But I'm glad I did it. We needed help. Our city did, and a lot of what we've done, I give credit to Jesus because, hey, you know what? We were gone as a city. So, hey.
That's another question I had too. Is now that you'll be leaving office and somebody else will be taking over, is there communication there between you and them? First 6 weeks, hey, I hit a bumpy road. Not necessarily asking how you would do this, but have you hit this road before? Can I get some kind of advice there? Is there any of that?
Well, Jim Kaufman was recently elected, and Jim currently serves as the clerk treasurer.
Okay.
So he works with me every day.
Good.
So for the past 3.5 years, I purposely brought him with me. Everything that I did,
Yeah.
he was in on.
Okay.
And because I knew after I got reelected that was going to be it for me.
Yeah.
People should only serve so long as a mayor. Then you need to exit.
I think what I just heard was term limits.
Term limits. Yeah, term limits. So Jim's is really going to do well. He is a solid family man.
Great.
Got good moral values. So you're not going to see much difference than what is going on right now. You'll see he knows what's coming down the pike, and our goal was to have a seamless transition.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm so looking forward to him being mayor. I'm rooting for him, and I spoke to a group Saturday, and I wish that my hope is that he does better than I did.
Yeah. Yep, that's great. Yeah, I just wonder if that happens more than we know about when people take over an office of someone else, whether they
Sometimes
were in the same party or not.
When I became mayor,
Yeah.
in 2012. The first time I walked into there was no meeting between me and the previous mayor.
Okay.
I walked into the mayor's office. In the desk and cabinets around the desk, there was not one item. Everything was taken out. There was a key laying on the desk. The phone had been disconnected, and the computer had been wiped out.
All right. So no, there wasn't much continuity there when you took over.
Started from scratch.
Started from scratch.
A city that's
What
old.
saved me was was fire chief,
Right.
and I knew the daily workings of government.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder how much continuity there is there between people leaving and people taking over office, and or if there is any continuity. And it sounds like there wasn't when
there
you took
wasn't,
over,
but there's going to be,
and there is now. That
and there needs to be.
Yeah.
You have to, if you lose an election, and I told Jim the night of the election, and I told him a couple days leading up to the election, you win the same way you lose, with dignity.
Yep.
You know. So yeah, and he won, and he was very respectful, and that's just his nature. So
Yeah, that's
you know,
great.
okay,
Makes it easier to get behind somebody like that.
yeah.
Yeah. So usually towards the end, we ask this we call it like a lightning round. We ask a few questions. Kind of fun.
Yeah.
But so one of them be who would play you in a movie? If you could pick one actor to play you in a movie.
Let me think. Jason Statham.
All right.
There you go.
Yep.
I see those similarities.
It's my wife's favorite actor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you see the one where he was guarding the Brinks truck?
Yep. Oh yeah. Have you seen that, Nick?
No.
Oh man, that one's good.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't even know what it's called, but it's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's a
And-
book that you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I like Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's a book that you would recommend to guys? Not the Bible.
Oh boy, I don't know. I haven't read a book in about a year. The older you get, the harder it is for me to sit down and read
Yeah.
because I've read so much.
Yep.
I understand that. It started for me when I was about 16.
You're not alone.
Right.
I have to pay. I don't know one off the top of my
Okay.
head.
Okay.
What about, is there someone, if you could meet one person from history to have a conversation with, who would it be?
My dad would be one of them.
Okay.
You know, one of my regrets of being mayor was that my dad and my father-in-law never got to see me be mayor because they passed before I
Yeah.
was mayor.
I think we talk about this quite a bit because we both lost our dads recently, and it'd be amazing if our dads could see what we're doing now.
Yeah, I just wish that my dad and my father-in-law could walk into the mayor's office.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It'd be great to just have a
So what was the
20-minute
question?
conversation.
So one person you'd want to meet from history.
I would like to meet the commander of the North Army, the main army in Gettysburg. I would like to meet him.
Okay. Yeah. That would be a fascinating conversation.
It would, because he was the guy that he didn't want to do it, but his name was Cunningham, and he was they were taking their stand against the South up on Pickett's charge, and they ran out of bullets, and so they had to resort to their bayonets, and that was the beginning of warfare with other weapons besides.
Okay.
And it's just that was one of the guys, his leadership.
Yeah.
Because he took a he took soldiers that no other platoon wanted,
Okay.
and he molded them
And you said that's Gettysburg?
in Gettysburg.
Have you been to Gettysburg?
Yes,
Okay.
several
was that?
times. Beautiful.
Yep.
I had a college professor when I went to out to Maryland, and he was a professor at the War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and at Gettysburg University. And the first day of class, he said two things. He said, "It's not Gettysburg, it's Gettysburg."
Okay.
And second, if it's not broke, break it.
Yep. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm
No, that's
rambling.
fine. Well, if we got one other question. So what I found now that when I tell people I live in Beech Grove, the number one thing I get when I'm traveling outside of Beech Grove is the On Patrol Live. Do you hear about that a lot?
Oh yeah, all the
Yeah,
time.
that's what I figured.
All the time.
Yep.
Yeah, we how it got started was they On Patrol was out in Lawrence, and they stopped doing it in Lawrence. So Lawrence Police Department and Beech Grove Police Department have a really good relationship.
Okay.
So they recommended coming out here
Yeah.
to Beech Grove, and they we started doing it, signed off on it, and it was at one time before they took it off the air. It was the #1 cable show on television, and we had some officers. They developed a fan club,
Yeah.
and they had people would send in pictures and all kinds of stuff to get autographed,
Yeah.
send back.
That's hilarious.
I have a friend that's a Beech Grove police officer, and
And
I texted him the day that I saw it was coming out. And I said, "Are you going to be a movie star?" And he said, "Absolutely not."
yeah, and the chief, they didn't have to do it. I mean, they signed up. If they wanted to do it, fine. If not,
Yeah.
no problem. But we did it, and actually, it turned out well for the city from a recruiting standpoint. But the problem was the officers got tired,
Yeah.
and they needed a break.
What's the benefit of the city or the police department for doing that show?
Just exposure.
Exposure. Okay.
And they showed real life how police officers are talked to
Yeah.
by some factions of the general public, and what they put up with, and
Yeah, I remember watching that a few times and saw officers dealing with the same problematic people over and over and over again, and how well they handle themselves in those situations.
yeah,
Even though there's a camera on you, still it's good to see
Yeah.
how well the officers handle themselves.
and they had. Did you guys see the episode when the 4-year-old had the gun? Did you see that
Yep.
one?
Yep.
Did you see it?
I didn't
Yeah.
see it.
It was in the hallway of an apartment.
Okay.
This little 4-year-old kid had a handgun loaded,
Okay.
and he picked up off the, and what do they call those doorbell cams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picked it up, and the people that was hosting the show in New York City, it was blow by blow of what was going on, and it ended up it's the worst footage they've ever filmed.
Okay.
So, and it really got them.
Yeah.
And a lot of it they didn't show,
Right.
but I think On Patrol Live will be back. Just a matter of, we just got through an election. They just opened up a new police station. So I think it will be back. It'll probably be next year.
Yeah. It's definitely good exposure.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
actually had to call the police department not too long ago and got to see him in person in action and was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
Like, middle of the night, someone in between my house, my neighbor's house, hoodie, all dark clothes on. Neighbor called me. He's like, "Hey, someone's outside your house and all dark clothes. They're crawling on the ground. Like, I don't know what's going on." So I went out there and there they were. And so I called the police department and, explained what was going on.
Yeah.
And they rolled up with 3 of them together, and their dog jumped out, and it ended up being just a young lady who's recently homeless and didn't know where to go. So they immediately shifted from, "Hey, we're getting ready to get someone to try and break into a house," to a heart of compassion of, hey, what's going on? You can't be here. Trying to find her a place to stay for tonight. And it was this like my adrenaline was pumping from all this, right? And you're like, just ready to go. And they did that, and then immediately they switch over.
Yeah,
and she's screaming at him, but they didn't care, showing compassion. So, yeah, it's incredible to see him in action.
I want to leave you with this.
Yeah.
I appreciate the older I get and what I've done in my life. I appreciate churches. It doesn't matter the denomination to me.
As long as they're right.
It's a welcoming place. And what I want to tell people that might be listening today is the city of Indianapolis and this county has a terrible, terrible crime issue. Guns, no father in the home, all these things that are building up. And the answer is not hire more police.
Correct.
You can put a police officer on every corner. These things are still going to happen. What the answer is that you open your church doors and you let the gospel flow out into the neighborhoods.
Yep.
And when more people are in the church here than are out on that street corner, this problem goes away.
Yep. Yeah. When you can get to people and change their hearts, that's when the problems will.
So that's where we're going. So it's been a pleasure talking to you guys.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you guys joining us, and look forward to seeing you next week. So
yeah.
thanks again.
Thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.